to Wyatt.
Cheers.
First of all, it's great to meet you.
Great to meet you, Carson.
I feel like I'm in a time portal looking at me at your age. Hit me with some questions.
So, how old were you when you first experienced anxiety?
Only later in my life was I able to look back when I was a teenager and go, oh my gosh, that was all like anxiety. Like, oh, that time. Oh yeah, when I was feeling really scared and like felt like I was like on edge. Like, oh, that's what that was. When we were growing up, my generation, we didn't talk about mental health. Only now are we, through these conversations, starting to treat our mental health like we do our physical health. Like, no big deal. Everybody's got mental health struggles.
I think it's really important that we're doing that.
16-year-old Wyatt is like many teenagers his age. He loves playing basketball and soccer, and like many teens, he struggles with anxiety, but is speaking up in hopes of helping kids who suffer in silence. Wyatt is one of a handful of teenagers interviewing famous people about their mental health struggles to help destigmatize mental illness.
Like, I didn't know anxiety was like a categorical thing.
I'm not a psycho. This is me. Here I am.
When I was younger, that was it. If you had something going on up here, you were just crazy. So we've come a long, long way, but we still have a lot of work to do.
You know, we have all this, this stigma around it. It's getting less and less and less.
Wyatt is a part of the Child Mind Institute's You Got This campaign.
I really appreciate you and what you
Oh, well, I'm happy to do it. And I didn't realize that people were so scared to talk about their mental health. I think there was over a 10-year period where I had anxiety and panic attacks, and like, I just didn't know what it was.
Right, you just don't.
And I thought, like, oh my God, like, am I going to be able to be a good father, a good husband? Literally, what's wrong with me? When I finally decided to go see a professional and I got a diagnosis, I left so happy. I was like, oh my God, it's a real thing. When did you first realize that you were a little anxious?
When I was about 12, right when I got to my new school, not just like worrying about a test the next day, it's a different kind of feeling. It's this feeling, in your head that you can't kind of, be yourself because you're just nonstop having this in the back of your head just bugging you and bugging you.
Like so, another voice.
Another voice kind of just nonstop, never leaving you alone.
Do you talk to your friends about how you feel, or
I think
do kids your age have those conversations?
I would say,
be honest.
No. Right. If you want me to be honest, I would say no. It never really comes up. I tell some of my friends, I have OCD, right? But then they're like, you're one of the most unneat person that I know. How do you have OCD? And I gotta tell them it's obsessive compulsive disorder. It's not just having to fix that water over there or making sure this is all straight and stuff like that. It's just something that's in your head.
It's more complex than that.
It's way more complex.
Wyatt says his anxiety began about something benign he posted on YouTube, but later grew into repeated paranoid feelings about technology. He was diagnosed with anxiety and obsessive compulsive disorder.
My phone, just right here, I didn't have it for a whole year because I was worried that I was being listened in on and spied on. It really, really took a toll on me. I mean, I've come really far, and now here I am. There's like 4 cameras. My phone's right here.
And you don't have that same worry?
No, I'm able to have my phone around with me.
And therapy helped you get through that?
Yes.
And I always had, we call it catastrophic thinking. Negative thoughts on negative thoughts.
Oh, I do that too.
I've struggled with general anxiety disorder and panic attacks most of my life. Therapy has made all the difference.
And that's why talking about this and like ultimately for me, going to therapy, working on certain tools that help me, it's my superpower now. So it's not going to hold me back.
You're saving other people with the superpower.
I don't want to have a panic attack, and then I'm going. And I know I'll be okay.
I'm doing it.
I know I'm going to be okay.
I think I can kind of relate to that in like, I have, soccer games. Sometimes I feel, not a panic attack, but I feel, in my chest, like I'm going to throw up, and it's kind of a little hard to breathe.
And then is it better, like once you get into the game?
Yeah, once you're waiting for the whistle to be blown, you're out there, you're ready to play, and I'm sure Kevin probably has that too.
Wyatt also interviewed Miami Heat's Kevin Love for the campaign.
Hopefully we can help a lot of people.
Yeah, definitely. It's an honor.
Kevin has been very public about his own panic attacks. He's one of the reasons I opened up about mine on Today.
General anxiety disorder.
I'm thinking like, here's Kevin Love, badass, successful, like operates a high level.
Amazing.
And it made me feel so good about, wow, I'm not alone. Kevin made it possible for me to know that I can do both. Like I can be successful, work through and manage what's going on in my brain. And I still perform. I can perform at a high level. But
you drop 30 points.
Right, exactly.
Every day.
I'm dropping a 50 biscuit on them.
50.
You know what I'm saying, Wyatt? Oh my God, what a hustler. And so when I talk about mental health, I talk to young people, like, I was like, man, I was you, bro. Like, I know what it's like to feel like different than other kids or whatever, but like self-confidence is so important. Like, just know who you are, man. Know, like, you have a good family, you have friends, or you have people that you could look up to if you need anything. You know, you could DM me or Kevin, and there's people in your life that'll hold you down. And as long as you know that, there is nothing you can't do. I don't care what you're dealing with. OCD, panic disorder, there's a litany of other mental health diagnoses that young people are dealing with. You're not alone, man. That's the message. We're all in this together. Doesn't matter if you're on TV or you're in 10th grade. That's why it's really important that you're, having these conversations with people.
Wow, that's really
I love talking about it.
It means a lot. It's great to hear from someone such a high power, right to me, how I'm going to be okay. What are some, main techniques that you would use? Let's say you had a panic attack, right?
Yeah. I have to start my day and lower my baseline, man. That's why I listen to music, I meditate, and I'll even do, the Calm app on my phone. 6 minutes.
I heard of it,
And I try and live really present in moments and, give you my full attention and be really, right here and now, not thinking about a million things.
No, you're right here now.
So, yeah, man.
I just want to be open that I do have anxiety and OCD, and
That's so cool to hear. Because people are going to hear that and go, oh, then it's okay if I have it. We're not just on TV, we struggle just like you do. We're all in it together.
Yeah. It's really important for the people to understand that they can do this. And that's why the campaign of Child Mind Institute is You Got This campaign.
Do you think it's a good idea for parents to, bring it up and talk to their kids?
Yeah. But a lot of the kids, like myself, I'll be honest, I was not, open to talking to my parents about all this stuff. It took me a while. It really matters if you understand your kid. You should be able to see, when they're acting different. Not like the moody teenager, they act like that sometimes, but a different level of frustration or a different level of just the way they look and the way they're reacting to stuff.
What did it take for you to get to that point where you wanted to talk to somebody? Because I know you were resistant in the beginning.
Mm-hmm. I just can't, live like this in silence anymore. All right, we'll do it, fine. And it was a great idea.
You got this. That's the message at the end. That's what I wanted to know when I struggled the most, was I going to be okay?
Am I going to be good? Am I normal?
Am I normal? And the answer is yes.
Yes, you are. You're okay. You're normal.
You're okay.
And you got this.
Wow. Carson.
I mean, it was so great to meet Wyatt. You meet young men like that or young people like that. It makes you feel so good about the future, especially when it comes to the conversation of mental health. You can already see how confident he is. He's such a great ambassador for mental health awareness.
I liked how when you said, I know that some panic is coming, but I know I'm going to be okay.
Yeah.
It's like you now you recognize it.
Faith.
And just the look at him looking at you, it was like you felt it, like this kid's going to be good.
I'm just so proud of him.
Wow.
I mean, it's great.
And thank you for letting us sit in on that conversation.
I know. Felt like we were peeking in.
Dived in such a
We had I get it from parents all the time because the Today Show, they always say, what's the biggest question for teens is what's a red flag and what's normal teen behavior?
I know.
We talk about that. There's a full 8-minute video at today.com if you want to watch more of that conversation.
We're going to
and by the way, that place is called the Flower Shop where we were.
Yeah.
Super cool. Thanks for letting us hang out there. Shout out to you, Wyatt. You're the man. Keep up the great work. And his parents were there and they were lovely too.
Cool.
I want to literally share
this struggling,
conversation.
hang in there.
Me too.
Hang in there. You got
And
this.
I think a lot of people do ask themselves, okay, am I just nervous?
Everybody looks so
Everyone
normal.
gets nervous before a game.
Yes.
When do you know it's something that you need a little help with?
Yeah, life's not so perfect on Instagram. All these teenagers look at Instagram. Oh, but everybody's life is so perfect. You're doing just fine as you are.
You got this.
Hey, thanks for watching. Don't miss the Today Show every weekday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 Pacific on our streaming channel, Today All Day. To watch, head to today.com/allday or click the link right here.